I did some research earlier today on the MLS just to look at the numbers, strictly numbers to see what's going on in the market between active listings, pending listings, sold listings, properties that have been either withdrawn or canceled from the market recently. Specifically looking at the month of March, obviously, month of February, looking a little bit into January, but mostly February, March, and then we'll get into like a weekly kind of look at it. So basically what you see here, Contra Costa County, between the listing dates, off market date, closing date, I'm looking at February 22nd to February 29. So that's exactly a month ago. Basically we're March 29 today, so I'm kind of looking, I'm going to compare February 22nd to February 29th, and I'm going to compare that to March 22nd to March 29th. So in Contra Costa County, we had 93 actives. We had 134 pending, and then we had 247 sold. In Alameda County, during that same period, we had 58 active, 120 pending, and 238 sold. So if you compare that to March 22nd to March 29th in Contra Costa County, we went from 93 actives to 156, so that went up. We went from 134 pending to 136 pending, so that went up. But the solds actually went down, 247 to 144. So those went down by 42% within those, if you compare just those weeks. Okay, Alameda County, same thing. We can see that we had 58 here, went up to 118. We had 120 pending, went up to 134. But then the solds also went down. 238 went down to 183. So that went down 23% there. All right. So let's look here. Now I'm going to go to a full month. I'm going to look at the full month of February, February 1st to the 29th. And now I want to look and compare that to basically March 1st to March 29th. So Contra Costa County, we had 291 active, 256 pending, 773 sold. Look how much these go up. So that's February 1st to the 29th of February. Now we're March 1st to the 29th here. Actives went from 291 to 587, pendings 256 to 815. So those went up. The solds even went up a little bit, 773 to 792. So the market was, starting to pick up. We were seeing more properties come on the market. We were seeing more people put offers on properties, and the solds were actually increasing from, February to March, which is kind of the normal trajectory of, heading into springtime, real estate market is going to pick up. Alameda County, we had active 191, went up to 481. Pendings 237 went up to 819, big increases. And then again, solds went up from 667 to 813. So that's interesting. So the market was picking up a little bit, but we do see some changes here. Basically, right around the time the shelter in place came in to play here. So let's just look at this right here. From March 19th, which is right around basically the day that at least Governor Newsom announced the shelter in place was going to go into effect. So that's between March 19th to today. We've had 237 actives, which is about 40% of the total throughout the whole month of March. We had 215 pending, which is about 26% of the full month of March. And then we had 231 sold, since the shelter in place, which is about 29% of, the full month. So that's actually doesn't look terrible. I mean, that's about around a third of the activity for the month. And actually the 19th to the 29th is about a third of March. Okay, if we look at Alameda, the numbers are around the same. We have actives 177 out of 481, so that's 37%. We had 227 out of 819, so that's 28%, and 248 out of 813 solds, which is 31%. Okay, and again, this is looking at the shelter in place from March 19th to March 29th, which is today, and comparing those numbers to the full month of March. Okay. Now I want to look at the withdrawn and canceled. This is where it gets pretty interesting, I think. Okay, so we're looking at February 1st to the 29th, full month of February. Contra Costa County, we had 106 properties either withdrawn or canceled. Alameda County, we had 81 properties withdrawn or canceled. Now look at this. March 1st to the 29th, we go up to 267 properties withdrawn or canceled. That's a 151% increase from the month of February. Look at Alameda, 269. We were at 81, so that's a 232% increase, comparing that to the properties withdrawn and canceled in the month of February. Now, I just wanted to kind of compare that. We'll go back to this, but I wanted to compare that to January just so you can kind of see if these numbers are, kind of hold water right here. Contra Costa County in February had 106, in January had 111, so that's pretty similar. Okay, Alameda County in January had 83 properties withdrawn or canceled, and 81 in February. So you can see that March was definitely peak time where people are just pulling properties off the market. Okay. So now we're going to look at the withdrawn and canceled from the point of the shelter in place order. So out of these 267 properties that were withdrawn or canceled in March, looks like 135 of them, or 51%, were taken off basically, after the shelter in place order was put into place. Same thing with Alameda. We had about 54%, 146 out of the 269 properties in March were taken off after the shelter in place order was instilled. Okay, so now I kind of want to look at what's going on by week. Okay, so we can see the first week of March 1st to March 7th in Alameda County. Well, actually, let's start with Contra Costa County. We had actives, we had 131, pendings 202, solds 210. Okay, if we look at the second week of March, we go from 131 active, 160, so that was an increase, 202 to 265, so that increased, 210 to 241. We had increases. We're going up week, the first week to the second week of March. Now we look at the third week of March. This is exactly where, right in this week, the 19th, is where the shelter in place order came in. So we can see we went from 160 to 140, so that went down. 265 the week prior to 211, that went down. And 241 the week prior to 197, so that went down again. Okay, we look at the week of March we're in right now, the 22nd to the 29th, which is today. So now we were at 140 the week prior, now we're at 156, that went up. 211 to 137 went down, 197 to 145, that went down as well. Okay, Alameda County, we had 107 the first week, 200 pending, 215 sold. Alameda County, the second week, went from 107 to 142, it went up. 200 to 268 pending went up. 215 to 223 solds went up. All right, so you can kind of see that upward, incline, if you want to say. Alameda County, again, the third week of March, 142 to 112 went down, 268 to 218 went down, and 223 to 193 went down. So now we're going downwards. Okay, and again, fourth week of March, we go from 112 active to 118, went up a little bit, but pendings went down, 218 to 134, and solds 193 to 183. Okay, so now I want to look real quick lastly at the withdrawn and canceled by week. This is incredible, but as expected. Contra Costa County, the first week, had 28, and so did Alameda County of March. Second week, Contra Costa County had 31 properties canceled or withdrawn. Alameda County had 24. So around, kind of +4 here and +3. But then look at this. The third week, 123, 127, a huge increase. That was right where that shelter in place order came in. These are properties that were withdrawn or canceled, okay, during the week of March 15th to the 21st. And now the week we're in right now, the 22nd to the 29th, we had another 86 properties withdrawn or canceled and 92. So those did go down a little bit, but we saw the peak right here. So what I'm seeing, and I want to kind of look back here, and what I think is happening is I do see, and we could see here that, between February 1st to the 29th, these numbers are actually kind of a lot lower. I mean, look at the increases here: 291 to 587, 256 to 815 pending, and then sold 773 to 792. What I think is happening is, like I said earlier, the market is starting to pick up in spring. A lot of people were starting to, put their houses on the market. Buyers were out putting offers on it. But what I really think happened was that, you can still put your offers on it if you're a buyer and you're willing to, make an offer on a property that you might not necessarily see in person. You might have to do a virtual tour of it. You can still get your offers accepted, but what becomes difficult is actually closing that escrow for many reasons. Everyone's kind of trying to modify their business and how it works to get things done, but still, a lot of people, as you already know, aren't working right now. They're not making money, and that's a big part in getting your loan approved. Also, proof of employment. Lenders check on that. So the fact that a lot of people aren't working right now can and does make it very difficult to close these escrows, along with, buyers have to decide, you might not be able to get all the same inspections you would normally get or as easily as you would want to get them. Okay, a lot of people can't and won't work right now. Also, appraisers, they do drive-by appraisals. Depending on if they bring those properties to value, that's going to be an interesting thing to see how it affects the market over time, depending on how long they're going to have to do those drive-by appraisals and desktop appraisals where they're actually not going inside the properties. Okay, so I think the biggest thing right now is, the market is so, the uncertainty in the market is huge right now. No one really knows what's going on. I know they just made real estate agents and real estate, residential and commercial real estate essential services. However, your local, jurisdiction and your local government, your state, your counties, they are going to tell you what you can and cannot do. So in California, at least in Contra Costa and Alameda County, we are still the same. Basically, it's shelter in place. We can't show properties, no open houses, which I think is great. We need to slow the spread, lower the curve. This is so much more important than selling property right now. We need this virus to get out of here. And so everyone can get back to their normal life and stay healthy and stay safe. And I personally don't think anybody's individual sale is worth someone's life. Okay, so these are just numbers I wanted to bring on here. Just looking at it, if you want me to dig any deeper into anything else, into your markets, I just did these by counties, not by city, but I can go city by city or neighborhood by neighborhood, whatever you want me to do. No problem at all. So I hope this gave you some info. If you have questions, let me know. I just like looking at the numbers to kind of see what's going on. The good news is it did look like right before the shelter in place, it did look like the real estate market was picking up. The activity was definitely picking up. You can just see we had 1320 total, between active, pending, and solds in Contra Costa County in February, went up to 2,194 in March. Same thing, Alameda County, 1,095. The activity went up to 2,113 in Alameda. So we'll see what April brings us. This is an interesting time. If you do have questions, please let me know. But most importantly, please, please, please stay safe, stay healthy. Think of your family and your friends first. And we will get through this together. And I hope everybody is staying safe, staying sane, and getting through this as best you can. We're in it together, and we will get through this. Take care, guys. I appreciate you all, and talk to you soon.